I'm going to kind of start again. So it's the same for everyone. It's dark tonight. So light on. I'm going to have to put light on. Light's going on. It is a bit dull and dark. Well, of course it is, Neil. It's 8 o'clock at night. Anyway, there we go. Right. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Monday evenings, TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube Live. Hope we are all well and good and happy and smiley as always. Hope you've all had a great Monday. I've had a rubbish Monday, if I'm being honest with you. I've had a rubbish one, but it's been all right. It's my own fault. Bought a brand new camera, dropped my brand new camera, smashed my brand new camera. Yippee. 600 quid. No, it's not. I can get it repaired. It's fine. It's under insurance. But I was still like, when I did it, I was like, oh. Anyway, yeah, that is the state of how my Monday's gone. There were a few choice words, so it is what it is. There were a few choice words being said, but anyway, it is what it is. I've done it. It's a mistake. It'll be packed up tomorrow. It'll be sent off. It'll be repaired. I'll get it back. All good. Right, let's do. We're going to do top 5 on TikTok this evening. I don't think anyone is on the Facebook, YouTube Live just yet. Right, let's see who's in on the old TikTok this evening. Anyway, Callum's in. Evening, mate. Callum, you're in at number 1, buddy. Mick's in. Hello, mate. You're in at number 2. HD's in at number 3. Emma's in at number 4. And Helen is in at number 5. Good morning, guys. As always, thank you very much for jumping straight on the live, coming and saying hello. Always appreciate it, as always. Have I got my chat box on? Oh, I've got my chat box on the, what's the overlay? What's that? All right. Comments. New comments will display it. Oh, no, I don't know. I'm happy. I'm happy where I'm at. Anna's in, good evening. Adam Kelly, good evening, mate. Let me scan down. Jan B is in as well. Mike's in, good morning, buddy. Morning, evening. Big Tom's in, and Sheila's in. Good evening. Who else have I missed? I've kind of scanned to the bottom. I'm on it. Anyway, yeah, other than the debacle of smashing one's camera, it's been a pretty good day today, to be honest with you. I've done a nice bit of content. We've done some content. I've done a new recipe that'll be out on YouTube on Wednesday. I've done raspberry and white choc overnight oats. Yes, that is the flavour of the week this week. We're doing some overnight oats. I've got loads of recipes actually that I've sort of I've not wrapped up, that I've written down, that I'm going to do for YouTube. I've just done the new weekly weight loss vlog. There's only 2 more. There's only 2 more weekly weight loss vlogs for 2024. So today's, next week's, and the week after. That's it. We are done. So yes, this week's weekly weight loss vlog is out. It is up and running, ready to go. Go and check it out. What else have I been doing today? Other bits and pieces, really. Admin, accounts. Trying to get my accounts finished and sorted out by the time we finish for Christmas, because I know my accountant's going to come knocking in January. So I get them done early, Neil. Get them done early. So I've been on, we've been on doing accounts. So just a bit of everything today, really. A bit of everything today. I am slipping. I've said this, I think, on my weekly weight loss vlog. I am mooching a little bit into holiday mode, as it were. Obviously, we've got a couple of weeks to go, but I think everyone is this time of year, aren't we? Everyone's slowing down a little bit. Everyone's sort of ready for Christmas, as it were. I know it's only the 2nd of December, but we're fully into December now, aren't we? So, anyway, so it's been good. But the fact I've been stupidly busy, and I always say this, the busier we are, the better it is for weight loss. Why is it the busier we are, the better it is for weight loss? Because I've got time to bloody eat. I was meant to do a worth the calories video, which was in my app. And then I've got a new recipe video that popped up on my FYP, which was, it was basically a pork sausage. It was basically like a flipping piggy blanket on steroids. Pork sausage stuffed with cranberry and brie, wrapped in bacon. I was like, that looks amazing, but I can do a real Lost Boss twist on that. So basically make it lower calorie, high protein, little snacky snoo, couple of them, under 300 calories for about 30 grams, 40 grams of protein. Yes, please. So my plan was to make a couple of them today. And have those. And then, anyway, I haven't done. So I think so far today, I've had about 1,700 calories, which isn't stupidly low. It's what it is. It's just, it is what it is. On a protein bar in bed and a few crispy wispies. And that'll be me. That'll be me for today. So I'm probably going to finish today at about 2,000 calories, which is all good. Steps-wise, 10,935. So not bad. Not bad at all. Lidl have a new protein cheesecake. What? Say that again. Say it louder for us at the back. I'm not going anywhere near Lidl either when am I going to go to Lidl? Or when can I? Do you know what? We don't have a Lidl that's like. I go to Aldi a lot because it's on the way to the gym. I literally pass it every single day. I don't have a Lidl that's that handy. Saying that though, Wednesday I can go to a Lidl. Wednesday I can go to a Lidl because I'm going to go to the Tip in Lytham. So I'll go and have a look. Protein cheesecake, lovely. How long did you find it took to see results yourself? In terms of weight loss, I started at 37 stone. So I'll be honest with you. I don't think I actually felt like I was losing any weight until I dropped a clothes size. That was my first tick, right? Which was for me. So I started February 2014, and I was a 6XL when I started my weight loss journey, and I was going on holiday. September, I think it was. First week of September, I went on holiday, 2014. And that was when, and I was going somewhere hot. I'm going to Benidorm with my mate, and it was hot. So I was like, I'll get a couple of new t-shirts. And I ordered a 4XL and the 5XL. So I was a 6XL. And I knew my t-shirts were too big for me. They got too big for me. And we do have body dysmorphia. We find it very, very hard when we see, when we see ourselves in the mirror, we don't feel like we are progressing when we really, really are. Right? But yeah, I remember I ordered 4XL and 5XL, and the 5XL came. I was like, oh, that's better. And then I thought, do you know what? I'll try a 4XL. And I did, and that fit me fine. So I went from a 6XL to a 4XL, which I know is still, it's big size clothing, as it were. But that was the first time for me where I really knew, because this brand that I was ordering, I had ordered 4XL in these t-shirts maybe a couple of years ago for whatever reason, and they didn't go anywhere near me. So I suppose that was the first time I noticed results for myself. But it's different for everyone. When I saw results in me, it'll be different to when you guys see results. So many of us are so desperate to see results. But, people, it is quite a common question, when will I see my weight? When will I see my weight loss? When will I see results? And I'm just like, we have to understand that, it's the old saying, a watched kettle never boils. So the results are there. But we also have to understand, we see ourselves every day. I always use the analogy of, it's coming up Christmas in a couple of weeks, right? And you might have some relatives that live down south or might even live abroad, but they tend to come every Christmas. You see them every Christmas. They commute up the M6 or down the M6 or whatever, right? And you see them at Christmas time, yeah? And if you've not seen, though, if you've got younger children, like let's say, and last time these relatives saw your kids was last Christmas 2020. Kids change very, very quickly over short periods of time, right? And you'll see your kids, every day, right? You'll see your kids every day, so you don't see the changes in them, even though they are changing every day, every week, right? You'll notice the changes when you buy them shoes and clothes, because like used to be a size this and now they're a size this, and it costs more money. But on a day-to-day basis, you don't really see it. But your relatives that come every Christmas, little Johnny was this big last year, now he's this big. And oh, look at little Johnny, hasn't he grown? Oh, do you think so? Yeah, look at him, he's bloody twice the size he was this time last year, and this, that, and that. And that's the same with weight loss, because we see ourselves every day. We don't see the changes in ourselves. So what do we do about that? The best thing is pictures. Take pictures, right? Start your journey. Take a front-facing picture, side-facing picture. If you really want to see change, do it in your underwear or naked if you want to. The pictures are for you, or maybe a loved one, a partner, or something like that. But, you don't need to band them about all over the internet, right? But you picture a few, but take a picture, side profile, front facing, once a month or once every 4 weeks, right? Or, the last day of every month or the first day of every month. Front facing, side facing. 6 months' time, as long as you're consistent on your journey and you consistently see results on the scales, even if you're not seeing it yourself in the mirror, when you look at those pictures, month 1, month 2, month 3, month 4, month 5, you will see the difference. You generally will, will you be arranging another meet up, please? Yes, I will. So we did our second Boss Your Weight Loss meetup on Saturday. It was a great success. It was just lovely meeting people. It was very chilled out, 2-3 hours. We actually met at the Trafford Centre. Though I don't think anyone from Manchester came. I think we had one from Crewe, 3 from the Black Country around Wolverhampton Way, and one from Warrington, and me from Blackpool. But still, it was a good central kind of meeting point, as it were. One from North Wales, and one from North Wales as well. Somewhere into North Wales anyway. But it was really, really good. And it was the second one. We did one in September. So, yeah, I'm going to try and do maybe 3 next year. I haven't decided when and where. I will try and do one a bit further down south. I think next year, the furthest we'll be going down south is probably, maybe just past Birmingham way or something like that. We'll try and find somewhere around that area, and that's kind of centre of the country then, isn't it? It gives a bit more scope for people. I know it's a little bit of a trek if you're coming from London, but no more of a trek than it is for me coming from Blackpool. And then certainly we'll be doing another one up further up north. So maybe Glasgow, maybe Newcastle, don't know. And then we'll probably do another one in Manchester again, because that's it. I think Manchester, again, it's a bit like Manchester's quite a good catchment area for people from the Midlands up, or from coming down south, or from Yorkshire. It's quite a good catchment area. So yes, there will be some next week. It will happen. Yeah. I couldn't make the Trafford Centre meetup. Don't worry, there will be another one. I don't know if we'll do the Trafford Centre again. We might do a different location, but it will be around the Manchester area. Right, let me scan up and see what I've missed, because I know, as always, I'm just waffling. The Facebook, YouTube's quiet. Let me have a scan down. By the way, if I've missed a good evening to everyone. It's that's not personal. I've eaten so much today, slightly concerned about the impact, but you only live once, eh? No, Paul, it's all about balance. It's all about balance. I know what you're saying, but it is all about balance. And I know you're struggling a little bit at the moment for consistency. And there is that, and I struggle with this balance, because I struggle with this, you're only here once, and this, that, and the other. But while I'm here, I want to be the best I can be. Right? While I'm here, I want to be the best I can be. So yeah, there is that balance. And do you know what? The amount you eat, is not the issue. It's the amount of calories we can consume. You can eat. I was talking to a guy in the gym today, so we were talking about food and food choices, and he was just telling me he was doing 2,000 calories a day at the moment, but he's been fairly restrictive with it in a way. So he's been really, really good with his food choices. And I said that's fine, but he's allowing himself. He did call it a cheat meal. I didn't correct him on it. It's not my place to do it. He's not one of my clients. He's not like he's following one of my TikToks or anything. I mean, he might do, but so I was like, all right, okay, yeah. As long as he's not over restricting himself. And he was sort of saying to me that he's doing 2,000 calories a day, and he's always struggled doing 2,000 calories a day in the past. But what he's always tried to do in the past is, when he was doing 2,000 calories a day, is just change his eating to smaller portions. So he was like, I always have, he always has muesli or Weetabix or granola, which is always classed as a healthy breakfast. And I'm not saying it's an unhealthy breakfast, but it's not going to be very filling. You're not going to get a lot of volume in there. And what he used to do, he's doing 2,000 calories a day rather than just having a great big bowl of muesli or a great big bowl of granola or whatever it was. He was sort of measuring out and having 60 grams of granola. I was like, yeah, all right, so you've been better with your calories. But then he said he was always hungry and then he'd fall off the wagon. Anyway, this time he's sort of changed things up a little bit. So for breakfast, he's having things like yogurt or he's having crumpets, but with a protein shake. I was like, yeah, better volume, more food going in. He was like, yeah. And yeah, so we should never be starving on a weight loss journey, right? If your calorie allowance is healthy for you, healthy, sustainable for you, right? So if you burn 2,200 calories a day, then a calorie deficit, 1,700-1,800. That's just the way it is. If you're only burning 2,200 calories, you're not going to have as much food freedom. If you burn 3,000 calories, you can have 2,500 calories. And, like I say, your calorie allowance is always going to be relative to your calorie burn. You only need as much fuel as you burn. Now, obviously, we're going into a calorie deficit because we want to consume a little bit less. But if you've got excess body fat because you're overweight, you've got the extra fuel there. You're just not necessarily putting it in here. You're just taking it from your body, as it were. So, yeah, if your calorie allowance is healthy and sustainable, if you burn 2,200 calories a day and you're eating 1,000 calories a day, that's not healthy. That's not sustainable. You're going to be starving all the time. Right? And that's going to just lead to massive inaccuracies, inconsistencies, But Paula, don't worry about it. I know you are struggling a little bit. And yes, we do only live once, but you just need to kind of, if you want to ask yourself this question, why? Why am I overeating at the moment? Or are you overeating? Are you just eating a load of food, but it's within calories? Or are you overeating calories? Or I know you said you were struggling with consistency in tracking calories. So do you know if you're not tracking your calories, you can't say you've overeaten, right? Or you've eaten loads, or you've overeaten loads, because you really don't know. You're shooting in the dark all the time. Does that make sense? Karen G, good evening. That's a real mate. What a journey you've been on. Thank you very much. That's very kind of you to say. Evening, boss. What do you think to the FA Cup draw? Not seen it. I've not seen it. What is the FA Cup draw? Enlighten me. I've literally not seen any news or TV. I've not seen anything. I've not read any sport. I've just been work. Time's just disappeared. In fact, it was 6:10, and it was like, is there any chance you're possibly making tea? So I was a bit stressed. Smashed my camera. A bit stressed. All right. I'm like, oh yeah, I better do. So, what's the FA Cup draw? Third round, United Liverpool. I just got back from Tenerife in the 16-18. I felt hideous by the pool. Christine, that's body dysmorphia on your part, right? Because we just compare ourselves to everyone else, and it's not an easy thing to come over, And the thing is, if you're a 16-18, the thing is, it is a tough one. It is a real tough one, but that is just something you've got to work on your own self. If we feel hideous at a 16-18, it's not because we're a 16-18. It's because we have very low self-esteem, right? And to be honest with you, if people think they're hideous at 16-18, if they got down to a size 10, they'd still find another way to beat themselves up, right? So, that's a sign, Christine, you just need to work on that self-confidence. And, it's easier said than done. It is easier said than done. I used to really struggle with it when I first lost my weight because I had I've still got loads of loose skin now, but I had loads of loose skin flapping about, and I felt I looked worse after my weight loss than I did at 37 stone. And I've talked about this before, and I think that's because I was used to my body at 37 stone. I had it in my head. I knew what I looked like. I could justify that's who I was, right? When I was down to 20 stone, that's something different. And like I say, I've got all this loose skin everywhere. I was trying to retrain my brain that this is me now. And to be honest with you, irrelevant of what other people think, right? Irrelevant of what this might be quite hard for some people to hear, but it is the honest truth. You only worry about people only worry about other people judging them because they judge other people, right? And that's the honest truth of it. And I don't mean, people judge other people in a negative way, but, a lot of people worry about going into a gym because they think everyone else in the gym is going to judge them. And that's because when you're in the gym, you're judging everyone else. Maybe not even in a negative way. It might be in an envious way. You might be, looking at the person on the stair step or on the rower going, oh, look at them, aren't they lucky? That's still judgment. Whether it's a very negative thing or whether because you're going in there going, oh, haven't they got a great body? That's still you're still judging someone, right? And I don't mean judging people doesn't necessarily need to be negative. Maybe I'm using the wrong word in here, but that is what I've found. Like, I don't judge anyone anymore. I used to at 37 stone. This is the weird thing. When I was 37 stone, I used to judge everybody because I just assumed everybody was judging me. Now, I don't judge anyone. I just let everyone do their own thing. I don't care what people look like. I don't care what size people are. And I don't know if that's just because I've become happier in myself. I don't need to judge anyone. And it's something that has made, a lot of people get anxious. Like, I did my Manchester meetup and I've never met any of the people I met on Saturday face to face. Now, don't get me wrong, I was nervous because I'd never met these people before. And in a way, I think in my head, I just didn't want to let them down. That was my only fear. And what I mean by that is I didn't want them to come away from that meetup going, well, what an absolute prat he was. He's not the same as the person on camera, or he's not who I thought it was going to be. And I hope people didn't think that was my only worry, because I'm just me. I don't change anything really. I suppose maybe you when you're filming, not when I do these lives. I've done these so much now. I just sit here and rabbit on as I would do anyway, even if I was like sat in a pub, I suppose. I might watch my P's and Q's a little bit more sat here and stuff like that. But, so yeah, I was a little bit nervous, but 10, 12 years ago, I couldn't have done that meetup. I couldn't have gone anywhere near it. It just wouldn't. It just wouldn't have happened. If I'd been working with a weight loss coach and they did that meet, I just couldn't have gone anywhere near it. And I think that's why quite a few, I've got a lot of clients in the local area to Manchester, and 6 people turned up. And I think it's very hard. I think it's very hard for people to walk into an environment where you don't necessarily. I mean, our community is absolutely amazing, and we all do know each other because we chat so much in the community. And I do a lot of lives, and we sort of chat. But yeah, I sort of noticed. This is something I've noticed massively. Yeah, people only worry about other people judging them because they judge other people, right? And that's kind of as it is. Yeah, I've been to the gym today, and other than the people I've said hello to and nodded at, because I've been going there for years and I know quite a few people there and some of the PTs and the staff, and I was talking to that guy about his weight loss this afternoon. If you held up a list of, there's probably 100 people in the gym through the time I was in there, coming and going. If you held up a list of people, I couldn't, other than the people I interacted with, I wouldn't know who was in. Yeah, I was in the gym when you were in there. Not a clue. I'm just on my own. And yeah, I don't even think, I don't even look at anyone in the gym. I just get on with my own thing. I don't need to. So people, does that kind of make sense what I'm getting at there? So, when we go on holiday and we're by the pool and we're feeling really self-conscious, it's because we're there and we're looking at everyone else. And right, if I'm looking at everyone else, surely everyone else is looking at me. It doesn't work like that, But I get it, because I was very much like that, It was great, mate. Just as friendly and kind as you are. And Callum, that's very nice of you to say. Thank you. 100% saying as we see on these, like, oh, good. And don't get me wrong, I do talk a lot, and I talk a lot when I'm nervous. It's kind of a bit of a defense mechanism. Probably why I was good at sales back in the day. And I do rabbit on and I do chat, but it is kind of my defense mechanism. But it was lovely. It was really nice. It's very chilled out. It's very nice meeting everyone. And I can't wait to do it again. And it does, when I meet clients, it does make me miss like the one-to-one interaction I used to have as a personal trainer and stuff. I do like interacting one-to-one with people. I genuinely do. It is something I do enjoy it. I really, really do. It's the one thing I miss by doing the online stuff is I know I'm chatting kind of in a way to you guys and reading your comments and replying and stuff like that, but it's the one thing I miss, that one-to-one interaction. Talking about probably helped us all get in the combo. But yeah, well, I never show up. I never show up, and it is sometimes I know sometimes it can be a negative trait. But yeah, when the room's quiet, it's a good trait. Not that the room was quiet; everyone was having a right good natter. I thought. I've just started creatine to go along my weight training whilst I'm cutting. Is that okay? I'm not a bodybuilding coach. Creatine doesn't cause. Cutting is fat loss. Creatine doesn't make a difference to it really. Creatine is just amino acid. It doesn't have any, it's just an amino acid that, if we supplement 5 milligrams a day, for most people, it adds a little bit of a boost, a little bit of a bump, bit more energy, bit better, a little bit more strength, a little bit more focus in the gym, and it'll help a little bit with recovery. That's it. It won't make a difference to your fat loss. That's just calories in, calories out, You talk a lot, I hadn't noticed. Exactly the same as you being fashionably late, Cameron G. See, we know each other inside. We know each other inside out in our community. We really, really do. But yes, I do talk a lot. Burns calories. Just this moving all the time burns calories. Right, let me scan that. Yeah, what she said, you were exactly the same. Oh, brilliant. You're exactly the same on here. Oh, shit, that's very kind of you to say. And the same, I don't give two shits who does what anymore. I know, and it is. I used to be a really judgmental person, but that's because I just thought everyone was judging me. And now I couldn't give it. It's like now when I go on holiday, I've got scars from my skin removal. I've still got loose skin everywhere. I'm still a chunky monkey. I'm not a skinny mini by any means. Couldn't give two shiny tosses. Honestly, I really, really couldn't. But I've got used to the body that I've got now, if that makes sense. So many of us are raised in environments where comparison very much dictated our worldview. Yeah, absolutely. And like we always say, comparison is the thief of joy. And we always, I think for me, I always grew up with my dad. He always wanted more. He was never happy. He was always looking at what other people had, and it breaks my heart now because he had such a nice life. He had 2 kids, a lovely wife, a nice house. Never minted or anything like that. Didn't have loads of money, but was comfortable, had a good job, and he never appreciated any of it. And I think from that, I've tried to be, certainly since losing my weight, because when I was obese, I was just in a mess anyway, right? But since losing my weight, I feel like this has allowed me to be the person that I should be, if that makes sense. And just to enjoy life for what it is. Life is too short. It doesn't mean we don't get stressed. It doesn't mean, but it is. It can, I went from being 0 to 34 in the blink of an eye and just didn't have a life, in a way. Don't get me wrong, I still had some good times, even when I was 37 stone. I've still got some memories that I'll take with me that, weren't weight related, as it were. But I only feel like I've properly lived life for the last 10 years. And again, this is sometimes why I fight with, you only live once, let's go out for tea, let's go to the pub, let's do that, let's do the other, with, you do only live once, so you've got to look after yourself, because if you want to live and enjoying your life isn't about stuffing your face. We think it is, but it isn't, right? It isn't. Gluttony is not good, right? Enjoying food is great, but being gluttonous, if there's guilt, right? If we overeat or we overdrink or we do things that we regret, right? Even we can try and say that we only live once, or you're here for a short time, not a long time, and all these things we say. But the honest truth is, you're just trying to justify that guilt, right? And we should go through life without guilt. That's what we're aiming for, right? Not a lack of guilt, but we shouldn't feel guilty about anything we do. And if you do anything in life, even if you try and justify it, but you feel guilty about it, you need to change. You either need to change your mindset, or you need to change what you're doing, right? Excuse me. Does that kind of make sense? I did think F it in the end and bought a bikini. Nice one, Christine. That is exactly what I like to hear. I am terrified of the gym, and I am 100 kilograms. Well, why does your weight make you terrified of the gym? It's flipping a lot of people in the gym that's more than 100 kilograms, including me. I'm like 130 kilograms, 125 or something like that. I don't actually quite know. I don't weigh in kilograms, but so why are you scared of the gym because you're 100 kilograms? Is it like, does it double your membership because you're 100 kg? You're 220 pounds. Like, what's wrong with that? Right? Your weight shouldn't dictate whether you go to a gym or not. That just it might sound like I'm stereotyping. I am stereotyping. People that are, I'm not saying you are, I don't know how tall you are. If you're 6'2", you're 220 pounds, it's fine, isn't it, really? I'm not saying you're a skinny mini, but you're certainly not ridiculously overweight. So, but yeah, we shouldn't be scared of doing stuff, Can you successfully lose weight by just eating whole foods, or is it down to calories? Well, yeah, it is down to calories. So if you, don't get me wrong, I mean, all these whole foods, we should eat whole foods, right? Now, you can combine whole foods into recipes. So, I've had tea tonight that is what I would class as pretty much whole foods. Chicken breast, pepper, onion, sweet corn, right? Tinned tomatoes, mozzarella cheese, right? The only thing I would class, I had a tortilla wrap, which technically isn't whole foods, obviously, and some pepperoni, again, which would class as highly processed meat. But everything else is whole foods. I then combined them all together into pizza enchiladas, and they were absolutely flipping delicious, right? So this whole food, single ingredient foods that everyone keeps going on about. Well, what if you take 3 single ingredient foods and combine them into one food? Is that now not a whole food? It is a whole food. Look, weight loss is down to calories in, calories out. That's it, right? Irrelevant of what you eat. Now, if you are just eating fruit, veg, chicken breast and eggs, right, then there's a very good chance you're going to be in a calorie deficit and you'll lose weight. But there's no guarantee, right? What I class as a whole food, again, other people might, no, that's processed food. Yeah, look, everything we eat's been through a process. As soon as you pull a carrot out of the ground, that's a process, right? If you then clean that carrot and put it into a plastic bag, that's a process. If you then take that carrot in a plastic bag and chop it up and boil it in a pan, that's a process, right? So carrots that are on your plate, guess what, are processed foods. But we have different levels of processed foods, right? And it's if you're eating things like avocado, salmon, nuts, olive oil, right? These are foods that are all extremely good for us, that we would class as being a whole food, but they're extremely calorific. So it doesn't matter. You could eat really healthy foods in a calorie surplus and you'll get fat. You could eat McDonald's in a calorie deficit and you'll get thin. Now, what are the chances of us eating nothing but McDonald's and sticking to a calorie deficit to get thin? It's going to be quite hard, right? Likewise, what is the chances of people that just eat like single ingredient whole foods and go into a calorie surplus to get fat? Probably, again, quite hard, but it doesn't mean it won't happen, right? I've had loads of people in the past that I've worked with where they send me their food diaries, and overall their diet is really healthy, right? But they're still eating too many calories, and that's why the scales don't move, My brother keeps asking me to make the enchiladas again. I'll have to get the ingredients. They were so nice, and I don't blame. Yeah, they're really. I love those pizza enchiladas. I bought the other day. Rachel was being indecisive. She was like, I don't know if I want a wrap. I don't know if I want this. So I ended up buying a loaf of bread, some wraps. I bought some of the high protein wraps from Aldi. Anyway, they sat on the side for the last few days. So I was like, right, what are we doing for tea tonight? Just so happened. I always pretty much have the ingredients in to make like them chicken enchiladas. I actually used some Mutti pizza sauce tonight because we had that left over from the recipe I did last week on TikTok and Reels. But sometimes I'll just use tin chopped or a bit of passata if I haven't got like a pizza sauce. Yeah, that was tea tonight. If anyone wants to know how to make my pizza enchiladas, YouTube channel, go onto my playlist. It's in my Make My Weight Loss Breakfast Dinner Tea with me it's in that playlist there. And they're a belter. They are a belter. Is Nutracheck accurate when working out calorie goal for weight loss? No, pretty rubbish, really. Nutracheck, most online calorie calculators aren't great, but MyFitnessPal is shocking. Nutracheck's isn't great either, to be honest with you. The worst thing about MyFitnessPal is it gives you too much power. You know, it asks you how much you want to lose, how much you... So I'm not saying it might not be accurate, but in some ways, no, it isn't accurate. It isn't accurate. I always find with MyFitnessPal, it's very low. It's always extremely low. It always gives you a lot less calories than you should be on. Yeah. Do you have to work out to lose body fat? Nope. Just need to consume less calories than you burn. I could sit on this chair for an entire week. Right? That's a pound of body fat there. That little badge there is a pound of body fat. Oh, let me get it actually, because then everyone can see it because I'm on dual stream. All right. TikTok. This is a pound of body fat. Facebook, YouTube, this is a pound of body fat, right? I don't know if anyone's talking on Facebook or YouTube, but I can't. There's no one's commented. No. So this is a pound of body fat. If I sat on this chair for an entire week, right, without moving at all, I would burn 17,500 calories because my metabolism, my BMR, the amount of calories I burn on a day-to-day basis just to survive, basically, body function, brain, heart, lungs, all that jazz, right, is 2,500 calories a day. That means I burn 17,500 calories. So if I sat on this chair all week and didn't move and ate 14,000 calories, 2,000 calories a day, I would lose one of these, right? Exercise, we put way too much emphasis on exercise. And do you know what? Actually, in a way, exercise for our physical and mental health is amazing. For weight loss, sometimes it can become a hindrance. And I'll tell you why. And I'm not telling you not to exercise. Everyone should exercise. Whether you're trying to lose weight or not, you should exercise, right? I don't care if you're 10 stone or you're 30 stone. You should do some sort of physical activity because it's great for your physical health. It's great for your mental health, right? But why can exercise sometimes become a hindrance? Because we put too much emphasis on it. The amount of people that come on here, I've been going to the gym for 6 weeks and I've not lost any weight. Unless you're in a calorie deficit, you won't lose. But I'm going to the gym. I don't give a shit, right? It really is that simple, right? So you're going to the gym and you're going to the gym 3 times a week. Fantastic, right? Physical health, mental health, superb, right? But you're going to the gym 3 times a week for an hour. So you're burning 900 calories. 1 pound of body fat is 3,500 calories. So you're only going to burn, if you go to the gym 3 times a week for 1 hour, it is going to take you a month to burn the calories equivalent to a pound of body fat. Around a month, right? And then you'll only lose this pound of body fat if you are consuming less calories than you burn. And what is another really common thing, you know, and this is just bad advice from other people, right? You're going to the gym, you need to fuel yourself now for your workouts, and you need to eat your chicken and your rice and your broccoli. What I tend to find is a lot of people that go to the gym and work out tend to start eating more, even when they want to lose weight. And they're like, yeah, but I'm going to the gym now, and my mate says I need to have chicken, rice and broccoli 6 times a day, and I need to have 2 protein shakes, and then I need to have big scoops of peanut butter in the morning on bagels before I train. And I'm like, what? Right, so previously you had a really unhealthy diet and you ate 2,500 calories a day, right? Now you've got a really healthy diet and you're going to the gym, but now you're eating 3,500 calories a day, right? You're actually going to get fatter. You're not going to get thinner. You're going to get healthier. You're going to get fitter and healthier mentally and physically, but you ain't going to lose any body fat, right? So yeah, I sometimes think at the start of a weight loss journey, certainly at the start, the gym can become a little bit of a... And again, when you go to a gym, there's so much bad advice in gyms. Everyone's a nutritionist. Everyone's a personal trainer. Everyone knows better than everyone else about, you know, how to lose weight. And it's a bit like being in an office, isn't it? If you work in an office environment where everyone's trying to lose weight and you've got flipping, you know, Denise in the corner, she's just eating beetroot and Ritz crackers, and then you've got Chantel in that corner, and she's just boiling her own pee and drinking that because she's heard it's the best detox diet in the world. And then you've got Dave at the back, and he's just eating steak and eggs all the time. And it's just and the truth is, everyone's rubbish at weight loss, right? And then but then everyone's like, I've lost 12 pounds in 3 weeks, and you're like, oh God, well, what have you been doing to lose 12 pounds? Well, I've just basically been alternate day fasting. Oh, so you've been starving yourself? Yeah, well, yeah, that will cause weight loss. Very, very well done. So it is. Yeah. Sometimes the gym's an amazing place, but it can be quite a toxic environment, especially on the wellness journey. A lot of bad information there. And again, we put way too much emphasis on exercise. And with my clients, I will always encourage them to exercise, but I'll always encourage them to nail the basics first. Nail the basics. Get the basics. It's absolutely, if you're not doing 10,000 steps a day on average, right, it's pointless going to the gym 6 times a week. Right? It kind of is for weight loss. Like, nail the basics, improve your everyday movement that's going to be with you for the rest of your life. Like we've got Christmas coming up, right? And, Christmas Day, the gym shuts. I'll still get my 10,000 steps in, right? 28th, 29th, or whatever. There's a good chance a couple of times over Christmas I'm going to have a hangover. Right? I'm not going to go anywhere near a gym. I'll still get my steps in. Right? Worldwide pandemic hit and the whole world shuts down for like 6 to 12 months. Right? Couldn't go to a gym. You could go for a walk every single day and get your steps in. So certain things, it costs nothing to walk. Gym memberships cost money. You might go through times where money's tough, right? And you need to cancel your gym membership, right? You never need to cancel walking. It doesn't matter whether you've got £1 in the bank or 20 grand in the bank. You can always go for a walk. So we should be nailing the basics, right? Nail the basics. Once you've nailed the basics, right? There's an expression, you need to walk before you run, right? And that, for me personally, now don't get me wrong, like I say, the gym is an amazing place. Exercise, you don't need to go to a gym to exercise, right? If you want to exercise, go for a walk, right? Once you're fit and healthy and walking for walking to class as exercise, you'd have to walk for 2 hours, right? Then maybe we'll bring some like more intense exercise in or something like that. But yeah, I always want people to nail the basics first. Nail the basics, and then we can start putting, the cream on top of the cake, as it were. Yeah. I just got all them resistance bands and walk daily. Yeah, and again, it's like, I'm not trying to discourage people from exercise. I go to the gym 6 times a week. I absolutely love it. Right, but we do put way too much emphasis on it, right? And I would always want people to get the steps in first. I want people to do both. I want people to do 10,000 steps a day and exercise twice a week. That is my dream for every single one of my clients, because I know if they do that, they've got optimal level of movement, so I can give them the best calorie allowance, right? And I also know they're improving the fitness, they're improving the health, they're adding years to their life, and this is what weight loss is all about. Yeah, I can lose weight being a right lazy sod and doing absolutely nothing and just starving myself, but it's not the way it should be done. Yeah. Right. Let me scan down. What would you recommend for working out calories? Yes, guys, if anyone wants their calorie allowance working out, TikTok profile, click on my link tree. Obviously, if you're on Facebook or YouTube, read any of my descriptions or drop me a message. Drop me a Facebook message or something like that, and I'll send you the link. You can come and join my community. It's £5 for your first month using code WELCOME. It's always a £5 for your first month. It's a £5. It's £5, and part of that £5, you get your calories worked out. You get a month's access to the community. We've got Zoom sessions. We've got all sorts going on in there. Private Facebook group, WhatsApp community. Like I say, there's all sorts going on in there for your £5. But part of sign up, you do get a full calorie breakdown from me. And it will be right? Will it be 100% accurate? No, there isn't one calorie calculator in the world that is 100% accurate. Why? Because there is not an exact number for us to compare it to. It's not like you've got a little flap on your forehead, and when I work out your calories, right, I can then lift up this flap on your forehead and compare and see if it's right. It's not like, guess the number, right? Guess the number between 1 and 10, 9, and you both hold the number up. Oh yeah, that's right. Right? It doesn't work like that. There's always going to be a bit of a guesstimation involved, but we can guesstimate. If you ask someone, you know, if someone doesn't have a clue about geography, right, you could say to someone, to within a mile, driving, how far is it from London to Manchester? Someone that doesn't have a clue about geography might go 500 miles, 600 miles, 700 miles. Someone that knows the roads might go 240 miles, 230 miles, right? So all guesses, because no one knows the exact number, right? I mean, so Google Maps does, but just off the top of your head. But we can make much better educated guesses, right? And be accurate. And that's kind of the way I work out calories. So I would say it's probably, my calorie breakdown is probably 5% out. As long as you're honest with the information you give me, I'd say it's 5% out. If you use something like MyFitnessPal, 25% out, right? But they're not designed to be absolutely bang on. You've still got to put a little bit of work in yourself. With me, you don't. Right? I kind of take all the work out. I give you calories. You stick to the calories I give you. You'll lose one of them a week, right? You stick to the calories I give you consistently. You'll lose 50 odd of those in a year, nearly 4 stone, right? Now don't get me wrong. I'll always go a little bit pessimistic with calories. So I have clients that absolutely nail their calories for a year and they lose 6 stone, 7 stone. And that's because, I'm always a little bit more pessimistic and they've been very, very accountable and accurate on their calories. Likewise, I have other clients and I give them their calories and they'll lose 2 stone in a year. Still great progress, right? But they've just not quite been as accurate or as accountable to the amount I've given them. But they've still been in that all-important calorie deficit more often than not. If someone sat here now, if you are lighter now than you were this time last year, right? So if you can go if you've got a digital scales, and even if it's 3 pounds lighter, that means in the last 12 months, you have consumed 10,500 calories less than you've burned, right? And that's a feat, because I'm telling you now, there'll be more people in the UK in 2024 that have gained weight than lost it. There'll be more people because we've got an obesity epidemic, right? So if you're even a pound lighter than this time last year, you're doing it better than the majority of people in this country. I'm telling you now. Yeah. Best thing I did was join the gym. Yeah, absolutely. Look, the gym is. I am not saying it's not it is amazing. I go 6 times a week. I absolutely love it. But as long as we go for the right reasons, so we don't go to lose weight, we don't go to the gym thinking this is what's going to smash my weight loss journey, right? And like I say, we've nailed the basics. I've got Karen G there, Jim's best thing she's done. Karen, when she came on plan with me, was averaging 15 to 20,000 steps a day. Down to work, doesn't matter. You can only do what you can do, right? If your work is means you're doing a lot of movement, great. It means it's easier. But Karen had the basics nailed in, right? She'd also lost quite a bit of weight, right? And the icing on the cake will always be doing regular exercise, right? And that's exactly what she's done. Same with Donna. Donna's done absolutely brilliant. I mean, Donna came on plan with me. She'd already lost a decent amount of weight. Donna's lost over 50 pounds. I'd tell you about being. So, Don 1990, started this time last year. She joined the crew, just came on plan just before Christmas. And he's over 50 pounds down, and we've still got a check-in to go. It's absolutely amazing. Lost nearly 4 stone on plan this year. That's on my plan. She lost a bit of weight before then as well. Absolutely smashed it. I go to the gym to help my mood. That's exactly why I go. That is. If anyone asks me what is the main reason I go to the gym, it's because it's the one thing that keeps this thing straight. Right? This stays in the place it's meant to stay in because I do regular exercise. If I didn't do regular exercise, this would not be as well behaved as it should be. And if this isn't as well behaved as it should be, I find it a lot harder to stay on track. That's the honest truth, Evening boss, been a busy day. Managed 10,000 steps. Awesome, Lauren. Lauren's on plan. And not even gone for a walk. Love that. And do you know what? That's the best way to get your steps in. Subconscious steps. Love it. Absolutely love it. If you can just had a dead busy day, look at 10,000 steps. That is because why is that the best way to get steps in? because that's your lifestyle. You've got a busy lifestyle. You've got, like I say, it should be, everything we do on this journey eventually should become quite subconscious. Just booting up, um, just booting up your NutriCheck and putting your food in your app, or just building steps into your everyday lifestyle, just automatically, going for healthier options most of the time and things like that. It should just become like part of the journey, as it were. But yeah, that's why I got. I love it. I feel fit as when I've been. Yeah, the gym's an amazing place, but just make sure you're going for the right reason. I think I'd started learning how to nail the basics, and now I'm just back to making excuses. Paula, at least you're being accountable to it, right? At least you're being honest. At least you're being accountable. And we do have to accept, and again, it is an excuse. It is an excuse, but we do have to accept it is a tougher time of year now. Creeping in this sort of end of November, early Christmas, and we're making a lifestyle change here. So many of us in the past, right? Paul was one of my online clients, by the way. In the past, you get to this time of year, and how many of you now on the TikTok live? There's 115 of you guys on the TikTok live. There's only a few of you on the Facebook, YouTube live. But how many of you normally this time would be like, I'll just start again in January? That's what we're used to doing. That is what we are used to doing. We're just used to giving up this time of year. So now we're trying to, I've got a lot of clients that join. This is their first Christmas working with me. And it's my job. Now, hopefully, these same clients will be with me next year and the year after, because I've got a lot of clients that were here last year. I had, a client that checked in this weekend and she was having a bit of a downer. But because she's been with me over a year, I've got all this data, and she was panicking about Christmas. And I went, Emma, let's go back to your progress sheet for last Christmas. You gained £6 over Christmas. 3 weeks after Christmas, it had gone, right? So, and it was her first Christmas working with me last year. And I said, look, and this time last Christmas, you weighed this. You now weigh this, right? You're over £20 lighter than you were going into last Christmas. And you gain £6. And there's no reason why you're going to gain any more or any less. You might gain a bit less, you might gain a bit more. But we can sort of say roughly £6-7 gain. And it's gone in a couple of weeks after Christmas. You did that last year, right? And it'll be no different this year. So if you go into Christmas £20 down, right, you're going to come out of Christmas £14 down. 2-3 weeks down the line, you'll be £20 down, and then we just crack on. And if you lose another £20 in 2025, this time next year in 2025, I'll be saying, well, you're now over £40 down, right? And she won't be far off target if she gets to £40 down. This time last year, right, you were £20 down. The year before, you were only £5 down, right? Look at the progress you're making year on year. And again, the first year we worked together, you gained £6 over Christmas. Last year, you gained, might be £7. But both Christmases, you've been back down to your pre-Christmas weight 2 to 3 weeks after Christmas. And this is why it's important to be consistent. It's important to get the data, and we've got to learn from what we're doing, and you will. But it's always a work in progress. It always is, I don't have a social life, so Christmas is one day. And do you know what, Christine? It can be like that for a lot of people. I absolutely, I love Christmas. It's something I really embrace. And it's because, it's nostalgic for me. It's something, it was always, whether I was, it didn't matter what age I am or what age I was, it didn't matter what weight I was. Christmas was always a good time for me. I never really had a bad time. Pre-starting my weight loss journey, that was my worst Christmas, but it hasn't tainted anything. But some people don't like Christmas, not bothered about it at all, and that's absolutely fine. Just is what it is. Likewise, other people, I've been on a few holidays this year. I struggle with my weight loss because I love going on holiday a little bit. It does put little juts in if you go on holiday quite a bit, right? And some people, I've got clients that don't go on holiday, so again, they don't have that issue. But those same clients might not celebrate Christmas as the way I do. So, It's always swings and roundabouts, you know. Is our first check-in after Christmas the 10th? I check in same week as you. Yes, it will be, Callum. Yeah, absolutely. Don't worry. Right, I know a lot of people are thinking when your last official check-in with me. So you guys that are checking in, that have just checked in this weekend, gone my check-in week. Yeah, your last official check-in, which you know after checking in, is the 13th of December. When you've done your last official check-in a week on Friday, you will get full instructions about coming back in the new year, when your first check-in is, and so on and so forth. Now, I was going to do everyone starting back. Well, I was going to do the first check-in as the 17th, actually, to give everyone at least 2 weeks back at it. But you're going a bit deep for the second group into January. So, yeah, for us guys that checked in, that finished early before Christmas on the 13th, we will be back at the 10th. And I'm fully aware some of you guys won't start back tracking properly till the 6th. It just is what it is for getting back into it. But yeah, and then everyone that checks in this week, you've still got 2 check-ins. You've got this week, and then you're right up to Christmas, the 20th of December for your final check-in. Your first check-in of 2024 is going to be the 17th. All right, so that's probably a slightly better one for most people. I'd rather have my, but again, it doesn't matter. It's just a number on the scales. It's just when we're sort of kicking that accountability back into place. Yeah. I mean, to be fair, I'm starting back tracking calorie deficit from the 2nd of January. So really, I've got 8 days, and I'll probably go for the Saturday. To be honest with you, I'll probably go for the 11th of Jan for like my first official check-in. So I'll give myself 9 days to see what Christmas weight I can flush out of the system by then. But yeah, it's just the way it falls this year. It falls a little bit weird. Yeah, it just kind of falls. Yeah, a little bit weird. But it is what it is. It is what it is. But yeah, I'll give everyone full instructions when we're. In fact, I'm going to actually do a live this week about New Year and getting back at it. So I'll talk about it a little bit then. But obviously, not everyone watches the weight loss coaching lives. Why do you do it fortnightly? Does Mirror not tell more of a story than Scales? No, not really. Scales is the best way to track Like, don't get me wrong, my clients are told to track their progress in 4 ways. 4 ways. Scales, measurements, Mirror, photos, and old clothes. Right? So now I only ask for 2 bits of information from my clients. I don't get pictures off them. Right, I just ask for scales and measurements, right? But in their weight loss foundation guide, when they come on plan, it does say tracking your progress. I recommend that you track your progress in 4 ways. Scales to track your weight loss. Measurements, track your body composition, change of shape. Photos is fantastic, visual aspect. So that helps with things like body dysmorphia and really wanting to see that we're making progress, because sometimes we might see a number and we just can't quite compute how good that number is, but visual aspect of it. And then old clothes is always a big one for a lot of people, right? Wanting to wear smaller clothes, wanting to wear clothes that fit better. So I always recommend at the start of your journey, you keep an item of clothing that you wear that is one of your favorite items. Keep it, and you know, every time you doubt yourself a little bit, every time you again maybe a little bit of body dysmorphia, you stick that top on, you stick that jacket on, and it'll make you realize how far you've come. Why do I get my clients to weigh in fortnightly? Because the further apart we weigh, as long as you're being consistent with your journey, the more of a chance you're just going to see positivity every time you get on the scales. So a lot of people, when they see gains and maintains, it messes with their head. Now, eventually, once you've worked with me for a good bit, a gain and maintain a lot, you'll just see it as a number on the set of scales. But that takes time. You know, that takes time to change that mindset, right? So, you know, we have lots of things that fluctuate the scales. Scales weigh your weight. They don't measure your fat. Now, if we could get a set of scales that just rooted out fat loss. Now, don't get me wrong, biometric impedance scales, they do give you a body fat percentage, but it's very, very inaccurate, right? So we might weigh 200 pounds, right? And out of 200 pounds, 100 pounds of that might be fat, right? If we could get a set of scales that says you weigh 100 pounds of fat and this is your fat loss every week, but we don't. Scales show our weight, right? So if I weigh myself clothed, that shows on the scales. If I weigh myself naked, I'll be lighter. If I weigh myself before going to the toilet, I'll be heavier. If I then go to the toilet, weigh myself, it'll be lighter, because the scales weigh everything that is inside, outside, and on the body, right? And there's lots of things that fluctuate the scales. And those fluctuations, the closer you weigh together, the more you'll see those fluctuations. If you weigh yourself daily, you'll see gain, loss, gain, loss, gain, loss, maintain, maintain, loss, loss, gain, loss, 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 gain, gain, loss. You'll see lots of different fluctuations. Now, if you understand those fluctuations and they don't emotionally affect you, you're like, yeah, it's just a fluctuation on the scales, a bit more water weight, a bit more food weight, didn't go to the toilet as much yesterday, drank a bit more, had a high salt meal last night. Weigh yourself as much as you flipping want to. The reality is a lot of people don't see scales like that. They get on the scales and see, okay, I've flipping gained today, I've done everything right. I ate nothing but lettuce for 3 days and I'm a pound heavier. Why the frig am I a pound heavier eating nothing but lettuce for 3 days? Right? Well, it could be any time of the month. Have you gone onto a medication? Right? Have you had you might have had lettuce. Have you been covering your lettuce in a bit of salt? It all causes a bit of an increase in water retention. It just is what it is, right? So, but if we're consistent on our journey, if you weigh every 2 weeks, you're going to weigh 25 times a year. Technically 26, but no one goes near a set of scales in between Christmas and New Year. So you'll weigh 25 times a year. And if you're consistent and you weigh 25 times a year, you'll probably see you'll see 16 to 20 losses. Right? If you see 16 to 20 losses, that means you're only going to be seeing 5 to 9 maintains or gains. So you're seeing a lot more positivity on those scales than the negativity. Positivity keeps us going on the journey. Like I say, once you forget to fully understand how the scales work, right, and you stop getting emotionally attached and you get a much better relationship with weight loss, you weigh yourself every flipping day if you want to. But that's why I get people to weigh fortnightly. 185 pounds and 5'4" is a 600 calorie a day deficit. If you pluck in a number out of thin air, it's wrong. That's all I'll say, right? Your calorie allowance is based on the calories you burn. That is it. Shout out to my Mrs. Joe. She loves your channel. Joe, good evening if you're watching. If not, Macca, tell her I said hello. Right, let me... December my break will be 23rd till the 1st. Back on it on the 2nd. Callum, you're sticking with me, mate. That's all good. Right, let me have a scan up, see if I've missed anything, and then I am going to bed because I've had a bit of a stressful day. I'm tired. I am tired. I think I've answered everything. If I haven't answered everything, as always, it's nothing personal at all. I can only get through what I can get through. And as always, I like to talk a lot. So anyway, there we go. That is the end of today's live. I'm out. I'm going to bed. I'm tired. I'm going to have a nice salted, the chocolate chip salted caramel grenade bar, which is the number 1 protein bar. Everyone's Boss Your Protein boxes should be winging their way to you today. Hopefully you've had notification and email to say it is on its way. Some really good stuff in this month's Boss Your Protein box. It's a Christmas edition box, so enjoy. Nice protein bar in bed for me, and I will be back tomorrow morning on TikTok at 8:30 in the morning. I'm not on Facebook or YouTube. Facebook and YouTube dual stream is just Mondays and Thursdays, and then Tuesday, if I do a TikTok on Wednesday, which is every other week, Fridays and Saturdays is just for you guys on the old TikTok. So we'll be back at 8:30 in the morning, which is literally 11 and a bit hours, and that's only live tomorrow. And then there's no social media on Wednesday, just the Zoom session for the community. Again, if you want to join my community, TikTok profile, click on my link tree and you can get in there. You can get to my link tree through my YouTube and through my Facebook page. or just drop me a message on YouTube or Facebook and I can send you all the details. My community is £5 for your first month using code WELCOME. You get a full calorie breakdown, access to the Zoom sessions, the Weight Loss Coaching Lives, the private Facebook group, the private WhatsApp community, all sorts of bits, and plus loads of other bits and pieces, right? It's £5. If you feel you need a bit more help than that, you can come on my one-to-one plan, which is $29.99 to sign up to, and then it is a monthly subscription. Anyone that signs up to plan now, you will start on the 6th of January. There's no more starts for 2024. 2024 is out. No more start dates 2024. But if you sign up now, you get instant access to the community. I'll write your plan up and send it over this week. You just won't officially start. But you know, you can have a look at your plan. You can start it yourself unofficially if you want to look at your calories and give it a little dabble for a couple of weeks before Christmas. And then we'll officially get you on plan, checking in with me every 2 weeks from the 6th of January. Right, I'm off. Have a great Monday evening, whatever you're doing for the rest of the night. Nearly bedtime. Right, TikTok, I'm off. I will see you tomorrow morning at 8:30. Have a great evening, whatever you are doing. And Facebook, YouTube, the same. Have a great evening, whatever you are doing. And I will next see you guys